This episode of Death Battle Cast is brought to you by Hims and Raycon. Stay tuned and we'll tell you a little bit more about them.
Sorry. I don't know if I can start the show properly
We just
because
spent the last 5 minutes shit-talking Guy Fieri.
5 seconds before the show starts, Sam is like, I wonder if he tattooed flames around his dick. It's like,
Well, I thought he had dyed his pubic hair to look like flames. We were saying
When I
that you
threw
can
out-
tell the character of a person by making lies about them and they sound true. If the lie sounds true, that's still a tell of the person's character. And you can say shit like Guy Fieri loved the Pontiac Aztec. And it adds up.
okay, I'm gonna... Welcome to the Death Battle Cast. We have a lot to talk about today, so I'm gonna just move on. Hi, I'm Ben. I am the voice of Wiz.
It just makes it easier for us to sit next to each other. It's a spatial thing. Just continue
Who
your
are
day.
you?
Continue your day.
No,
Ben.
who
It's
are
your
you?
turn.
Oh, I'm Sam.
Hey, I'm Chad of the Boomstick.
And I'm Billy, I voice Ringmaster.
Woo!
Woo, all right. Okay. Man, so this is going to be a little whiplash, but we do need to talk about something before we move on. We will have a little sneak peek of Sasuke versus Hiei in just a little bit, which is awesome. We will also be talking about DBX today because the first season of the new version of it
Yeah.
has wrapped up.
Season 1, technically 4.
Whatever it is.
All about confusion over here.
Yeah.
But real quick, I did want to address something that happened last week. I've gotten some questions about it and how it concerns us. Essentially, what happened is, if you haven't heard, you probably have. Last week, Rooster Teeth unfortunately had to let about 50 people go from the company. 50%, or not 50%, holy shit.
13%.
13%
Yeah.
of the workforce unfortunately had to go. And I've gotten some questions about whether or not that affects Death Battle and how, if any of us, any of our team got hit. Fortunately, Death Battle is in a pretty good place. Our team did not get hit. Overall, the show is still going strong. We, in fact, even started production of Season 7, pre-production, which is great. So Death Battle is still moving very well right now. However, Death Battle Cast did take a hit. Specifically, one of the members of our crew, of our recurring cast here, was part of those layoffs, and that would be Nick Kramer. Now, I don't want to get too into the overall discussion of the layoffs. If you want that, I highly recommend... No, I ask, actually, that you go check out the latest episode of Off Topic. I think it's called Are Farts Funny? Because of course it is.
Yep.
How is that even a question?
Well,
Yeah.
Achievement Hunter will always make
Okay.
anything a question.
They're funny in the right scenario.
Exactly.
That's the fucking answer.
But Jeff made a phenomenal statement at the beginning of it, just discussing what this means to all of us. I think we can all kind of get behind what he said. He was very open, very honest, and it really meant a lot to, I think, all of us, and hopefully to the unfortunate staff that had to get let go. But as far as Nick goes, he left the Death Battle team a little while ago, last year, to join the Inside Gaming crew. And unfortunately, their Austin team was hit, and he had to be let go. And that sucks. Mm-hmm. It sucks. Especially since we've been working with him
Better
for...
over a decade.
yeah.
for
11,
all.
11 years?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I reckon over 9, 11, yeah.
way before we joined Rooster Teeth. Like, I went to high school with the guy, and that was
y'all
how
have
we
known
kind of
each other
joined.
for half your lives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I do want to say that I am confident that Nick will land on his feet, and we all support him. Absolutely. And I hope you guys can too.
Nick joked on Twitter. He's like, man, I gained 200 followers. He's like, I should get fired more often.
Yeah, actually, I do want to say, if you haven't followed Nick, go follow him at Nervous Nick on Twitter. I said that weird.
Twitter.
Twitter. Yeah, if you need an editor, there's your guy. He's a great editor.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Hit him up.
And Nick has also kind of mentioned how there's no ill will per se. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure there's feelings.
It's a bummer.
But
Yeah.
he has actually posted that he wants to rejoin RT.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would not be surprised if we do work with him in the future in some capacity.
Yeah.
Who knows? We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. I do
There's
want
ever
to
a
say,
top 10 list that needs to be done. We got our boy.
yeah. And I don't really want to talk about this, but I feel like I have to. Otherwise, the comments on YouTube are going to be flooded. We did not force, or the Death Battle team or Rooster Teeth did not force Nick into joining Inside Gaming. I just want to make that clear that Nick wanted to pursue something different. He had a career goal in mind, and he took a chance. And unfortunately, not every time you take a chance, it works out. But hopefully this is a growing experience and things
You
still
never know.
improve.
The skills he learned could transition perfectly to a new job that is success. It's not like, I mean, the chance is still, everything works like this.
Yes,
And I'm very confident Nick will do just fine.
absolutely. So, Nick, if you're watching,
We love you.
Very
we
much.
love you, bud. Like, man, we miss you, but also I know you're like kind of just a few blocks down the road from me, so let's hang out, dude.
Yeah. Also, sorry for starting this episode off with Guy Fieri's penis.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Well, it's just his pubic hair. But
It's
near enough.
penis adjacent.
yeah, anyways, let's transition to more fun topics.
Like I said, please follow at Nervous Nick on Twitter and go check out the latest episode of Off Topic.
Isn't that the Nervous Nick?
No, it actually isn't.
Okay.
He got it used to be the Nervous Nick,
Right.
and then he managed to get the actual Nervous Nick handle.
Nice.
But I don't think he continued to claim his old handle. So if you look up the Nervous Nick, it goes to like a kitchen thing or something like that.
All right. Cool.
Just Nervous Nick.
That's why you never change your Twitter handle.
no.
Well, you do.
You do. You just have to park your old one and then say, "Hey, this is my old
Sounds
one. My
like
new
a lot
one's
of
here."
fucking work.
Sam's gonna be Screw Attack Sam for like a million years.
Yeah. It's I'm
We love you, Nick.
holding on. I'm the last fucking one, man.
You are the last one.
All right. So
Which means I own the brand now.
That's how it works. yes.
Just wait for it, y'all.
oh, is that how it works?
Yes.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Or I'm gonna open up Shoe Attack, one or the other.
All right. We've got a preview, a sneak peek of the upcoming death battle to show you guys. Sasuke versus Hiei airs next week.
Super excited. This is a super fun one.
Yeah. A lot's been happening, so I've kind of lost track of time a bit. And just yesterday, I was like, oh, Sasuke Hiei, we got like 2 weeks, right? I was like, nope.
Nope, next week.
Next week.
The episode that Ben originally said he'd never do. This is a million years
Oh,
ago.
my God.
It was the only time everyone was like, "Is there ever a fight that you'll never do?" And we're like, "No, we're always open to anything." And Ben was just like, "Sasuke versus Hiei."
Well, yeah.
This is before that was before there was like a research team and all these
I
things
know.
in place that make it much more doable.
I believe
It was also a joke.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
because especially around that time, like the Naruto series hadn't ended yet, and Sasuke, people were just so fucking frustrated with the Sasuke storyline. You guys know what I'm talking about. So I was one of those people who just had a hard time with the Naruto series because of that. But of course, I always knew we were going to do this episode at some point. That's why when we initially brought on DBX, this is actually funny how this all kind of ties together. There is an episode of DBX called Sasuke versus Hiei.
the most hated episode.
It is the most hated episode because it is this nonsense chase through a forest where I can't remember if it's a
trying to get,
squirrel
like,
or a rabbit or
It's
something.
a Hello Kitty doll.
Yeah,
they're trying to
yeah.
Yeah, something weird is happening. It was meant to be
It was two meta jokes.
sort of an experiment in turning DBX into something other than just a fight. And the reason why I chose Sasuke Hiei to do that with is because I always knew we were going to do this episode. And at the time, I wasn't really sure how the DBX Death Battle relationship would work. Like, if we would be able to... Basically, my concern back then was like, what if the DBX fight is so good that it makes the Death Battle in the future kind of suck in comparison? Ultimately, I decided, like, I can't really have that thought because that would be limiting to DBX itself to say, hey, animators, don't make your animations as good as Death Battle. That's stupid.
Just phone it in.
Yeah.
So,
Not really gonna work.
yeah, early DBX was kind of experimental in that way. But that's the thought process I had for that episode. And I can finally talk about it.
Yeah.
Wow.
I just wanted to bring it up because I know somebody's gonna be like, "Wait a minute, back on this panel, you said." Yeah.
Oh, of course. Yeah. I mean, we've made all sorts of jokes, especially early years of Death Battle. We joked a lot about how we were never wrong and things like that.
Yeah.
People take that very seriously, unfortunately. But anyway, let's check out that little sneak peek.
You, where are you going?
That's not your business.
Turn back, or
Fist of the Mortal Flame!
I'll end this quickly.
What do you guys think?
Yeah.
so
Super
far?
cool. Man, 3D grass.
Yeah.
Looking good.
The 3D grass that Luis put in.
Yeah.
You can always see, like, if you look through, like, in a linear line, the episodes we do, like, the technologies, like, they start to add stuff. Like, I think that technology starts with
We talked about it the other day.
West,
Frank West, Leon Kennedy.
Yeah, and, like, the adding 3D elements into the 2D fights, and, like, now it's progressed to, like, grass and stuff, not just, like, window panes. And, yeah, it's really cool to just see, like, the animators keep stepping forward and making shit cooler and cooler and cooler.
Yep.
Especially our 2D team. Generally speaking, our 2D fights do take less time and budget overall compared to the crazy huge 3D fights, which is why there are more of the 2D fights in each season of Death Battle. But that does allow them a lot more chances to experiment and try new things with it. And I love that, especially since there's only so far you can get with sprites. Like, they are a limited form of animation. So putting in your own little twists and incorporating 3D and 2D elements. Luis and Zach have loved incorporating so much hand-drawn stuff, and I will
And it
say,
looks so good. Every time I see hand-drawn notes, I'm like, damn it, don't go back to the sprites. Like, just do this
I
forever.
will say we didn't get to the Susanoo yet on this preview, and some of the dragons for Hiei.
Yeah, they're really cool.
Guys did a fucking dope job. It's gonna be good. So that comes out next Monday for first members and Wednesday on YouTube. Hope you guys can check it out. It's gonna be a good episode and an interesting one, because I know no matter which character wins, it's gonna be intense. Seeing some reactions, I know that's gonna happen. We know. We're not blind to this kind of stuff. But both series have ended and kind of have revivals or continuations and stuff, so felt like this was a good time to kind of explore this episode, this matchup. Also, it's the first time Yu Yu Hakusho has been in Death Battle,
Yeah.
and I love Yu Yu Hakusho, so it's like, it's time to bring him in, guys. Like,
Yeah.
and then we can bring in Yusuke and Kuwabara, and it'd be great. I would love to bring in Yu Yu Hakusho characters. Anyway, that's the sneak peek. Frankly, we can move on straight into the next segment.
I did hear about this. Sorry, Gerardo. Hey, before we get to the next segment, I wanted to take a moment to tell you about one of our wonderful sponsors, and that's Hims. So you've heard us talking about Hims and how they're helping guys look their best, and if you haven't yet, it's definitely time that you see what they're all about. So specifically today, we're going to be talking about hair loss. 66% of men start to lose their hair by age 35. Once you've noticed thinning hair, it can be too late. Is that hairline slowly starting to move backwards? Are there any bald spots? Well, the best way to prevent more hair loss is to do something about it while you still have some. And the solution is forhims.com. They're a one-stop shop for hair loss, skincare, and sexual wellness for men. So Hims has been a long-time sponsor of the Death Battle Cast. We really appreciate it. And I got a chance to hop on the founders when we were talking about potentially having a sponsorship deal with them. And it's really cool. The motivations for the starting of the company is just like sometimes these issues can be really embarrassing and uncomfortable for people to discuss. So they make it super easy and private for you to be able to potentially tackle some of this stuff. So thanks to science, baldness can be optional. Hims connects you with real doctors and medical-grade solutions to treat hair loss. They offer well-known generic equivalents to name-brand prescriptions to help you keep your hair. There's no snake oil pills or gas station counter supplements. These are prescription solutions backed by science. One of the best parts, there's no waiting room, no awkward in-person doctor visits. You just answer a few quick questions and a doctor will review and then they can prescribe you. Products are shipped directly to your door. So order now. Death Battlecast viewers can get started with the Hims Complete Hair Kit for just $5 today, right now, while supplies last, and subject to doctor's approval. See website for full details and safety information. This could cost hundreds if you went to the doctor or a pharmacy somewhere else. Go to forhims.com/cast. That's forhims.com/cast. Forhims.com/cast. Thanks, Hims.
Okay, well,
I
we've
saw
all
the
heard
memes
about
going fucking crazy.
Yeah.
On
Okay.
Twitter.
I figured it's
Gerardo said that Chad didn't know about this, or that he asked him, and
He just said, "Hey, did you hear about the Ash thing?" And I was like,
and it didn't click in your head that CNN and ESPN. Maybe you didn't see them reporting it. Like actual news websites were reporting.
"Were they
this.
really?"
Yeah.
I just saw the fucking memes on Twitter.
Look at ESPN had multiple tweets about this.
I mean, it is a sign of the end for all things, right? Ash finally won.
I guess so. Ash has finally won a tournament. The funny thing is, it's all these like American news websites reporting on it. I'm sure there were Japanese ones as well, but American news sites were reporting on it. It's not going to be dubbed and released in America for months.
So spoiled.
So if any kids happen to follow CNN, like
Ruined.
10-year-olds,
Well, just the memes were my favorite was just like Ash finally wins the whatever league, and it's just like when asked what he wants to do next, it's turn 11.
yeah, actually the best headline, I think this was actually from Sports News or something like that. It was something along the lines of, after a 20-year career, 10-year-old Ash Ketchum finally wins a Pokemon League tournament. Which is true. The series is over 20 years old. They just had their anniversary a year ago, 2 years ago? I don't know. Also, the fact that Pokemon is over 20 years old makes me feel really old and weird. I don't like that.
Yeah, they made it long enough to have Pikachu say "I love you."
Yep.
Also, be a talking detective, which nobody ughs at ever. Like, it's just, I get it that one Pikachu, like, tried, it's like a fucking, like when Planet of the Apes, when the monkey talks the first time, and the new ones, you're kind of like,
I saw that movie where he talks to Ash while they're dying.
Yes.
It's just kind of awkward.
It is a real strange.
Like, it's just kind of
It was
weird.
the moment they picked, really. I mean,
That video though is so good. That dude just watching it. What the fuck? Just clearly in a theater. Like, you know there were probably children there. Like,
yeah.
like, this dude just
Of course it was.
screams
Yeah,
out.
it was a little, I mean, plenty of people like that scene because, I mean, it's an emotional scene.
It is, I
but-
know,
also
and then it shows that
fanfare,
Pokemon can talk.
like-
Because I mean, we knew that anyway because of Meowth and shit and whatever. But like,
Well, it's more like it's happening in Ash's head. So, I don't think Pikachu was actually talking. Anyway,
just went crazy.
but bringing it back, yes, Ash has finally won a Pokemon League tournament. No, Orange League and Battle Frontier do not count. Those were not tournaments. Those were basically just gym leaders in a league format-esque, or league name in only. They weren't the same thing as the Pokemon League tournament. Funny enough, I kind of skimmed through the episode because it's online. Of course it is. People leaked it everywhere. I was like, oh, I wonder what Pikachu did to finally win their tournament or whatever. Pikachu doesn't even win the fucking tournament. It's the fucking dog. The rock dog, whatever it's called, Lycanroc. Lycanroc? I think it's Lycanroc.
Pikachu is, hold on here. It's a hot take. A
Oh,
shitty
God.
Pokemon.
He's been holding him back all this time.
Well, not ashes. Like, the whole point of ashes is that it can absorb and build up electricity so it can take on, like, legendary Pokemon.
yeah.
So, there is apparently...
and it's had the shit beaten out of it a lot, and it keeps on going.
There is apparently so I did look into this a little bit because I was curious. Well, it was brought up as we were talking about it yesterday. Somebody mentioned that, maybe it was you, that like, well, he's 10 years old. How many 10-year-olds really win these tournaments? And we looked up some of the past winners, and most of the past winners are like adults or teens.
That's funny.
Just beating up on kids, essentially.
Yeah.
But one of them...
10-year-old shows up to the Olympics. They don't fucking win anything, except maybe gymnastics, but that's different.
Okay. Well, one of them, I have no idea how old he is, but he definitely looks way older than Ash. Had like a Latias, the legendary jet bird thing.
Yeah.
And Pikachu fought that thing, and they both knocked each other out. So the little guy can take on legendary Pokemon and do all right. But yeah, then he gets
He's
beaten
got,
up
like, fucking
in this
plot
one.
armor. We all know he's still a fucking Pikachu.
He's a super Pikachu.
Show me like in the games where people have actual Pokemon tournaments, a team that uses a fucking Pikachu.
Actually,
you know what?
Pikachu is somewhat viable because they added an item that improves him and makes him better than Raichu. It's called the Light Ball, I think. It like improves
Somewhat
his speed and
viable.
power.
You know what I would love to see? You meant just a real shake up in the series is just like Pikachu accidentally evolves into Raichu.
He like stumbles upon a
like,
thunderstone.
yeah, you know.
Trips and falls.
And it's just like fuck. The whole series has changed now. Like Pikachu's now a Raichu. Like,
Well, I saw something like a week ago, and I didn't really think much of it until now, that the new season of Pokemon that's coming out whenever, the next season, is just called Pokemon or Pocket Monsters in Japan. There's no subtitle, secondary title, or anything like that.
reboot.
So maybe. I know that's been kind of tossed around the Pokemon community for a few years now, the idea that they're rebooting the series. I don't know enough about it to really comment on it too much, but it kind of seems like that's the direction here. Ash finally wins a tournament. They changed their animation style for this season. It looks strange
He's
in
got a
stills.
mustache for some reason.
No, that's what I was about to say. No, what if they do like a big time jump and then it's like Ash and his family and he's like telling the story of everything and then he's like, and that's why son or daughter, you need to go out.
Yeah.
And
then
go,
we were talking.
you know, like,
It's Ashley this time.
yeah, there you go.
That's the game changer.
Perfect.
Well, Sword and Shield is coming out, and there's the whole controversy about them not including all the Pokemon and whatnot. That feels like, frankly, it was
for a
poorly
reboot.
announced, but frankly, it kind of feels like the whole idea of that is that they're trying to do a sort of reboot. So maybe there will be an attempt at it. They're never going to replace Pikachu. Like, whoever the new character is, if there is a new character, is going to have a Pikachu.
No, I think they'll do something different. I really do, but like it won't
It'll
ever
be a girl
as popular.
Pikachu. It'll have the little heart tail.
Oh god.
That's what they'll do. In fact, it's probably not going to be a girl main character. It's going to be a girl Pikachu. That's my prediction.
We'll see.
Ashley the Pikachu.
I could see that. I don't know. Pikachu suck. Get them out of here. Get them the fuck out of here. I want to see a dope ass. Like, it should be some sweet.
What's your favorite Pokemon?
Man. I mean, it's probably Gyarados. Like, just because Gyarados are generally
And I know,
dope.
and I know how you
But,
feel about Kami-chans.
Like, realistically, like, all the starters typically turn into badasses. Dragonite's a gangster. You can't go wrong with a
Dude,
Mewtwo.
Dragonite's so good.
Mewtwo's like edgelord shit though.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, obviously you want a Mewtwo on your team, but like if you really genuinely like Mewtwo, you're fucking.
I'm not talking about competing, anything like that. Just like favorite Pokemon.
Just off the top of your head, first thing that comes to your mind.
First thing that comes to my mind is definitely a Gyarados. Yeah.
Okay,
There you go.
Billy.
Snorlax. That's
Snorlax, nice.
Snorlax is
That's
a banger
one
too. Yeah, yeah.
Snorlax.
Heracross for me.
Snorlax
that
is
bird?
spirit
That's
animal
Awesome.
for
No,
sure.
it's the Rhino Beetle. The big fighting,
Oh,
it's
got
bug
it, cool.
fighting type. It's awesome.
Mine's
That one's
Vulpix because they're
All you
fucking
Gen
adorable.
1ers.
Yeah.
I got you.
I mean,
Pokemon
Eevee's great
fam.
too.
Eevee's
And Eevee's awesome
great.
because then you're just like, you can stay with that Eevee forever. You don't have to be like, oh man, I really need a water Pokemon. Be like, you can become one.
See, but if there's a reboot going on, all these Pokemon are maybe in the running. They're never going to get rid of Gen 1. But, like, they're going to want to really emphasize the new stuff.
I could see them having an Eevee as the main Pokemon.
Oh,
Totally,
probably.
it's such a unique Pokemon. The fact that it can evolve into all these different things,
I
and they
wouldn't be
keep giving it
surprised-
more forms.
There are a couple different side series of Pokemon, or at least, like, mini-series that they've released. I would not be surprised if one of them had an Eevee as the main character's Pokemon.
Especially because
Yeah.
the new one, it's Eevee and Pikachu.
Yeah.
The new games that were just
Yeah.
out. So like,
The Eevee, because it's protagonist Eevee, could like just de-evolve, and then it could just be different ones all the fucking time. That would be a fun plot point to play with.
yeah.
I bet you anything that's in the manga.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I haven't read the manga, but I bet you the manga gets crazy. I know, so I bet you there's an Eevee in the manga that can just go back and forth because that sounds awesome.
Yeah, it does.
Yo, the other day, just to stay on this topic for a while, like literally yesterday, we're talking about this shit, right? And we're talking about with our boss, Sean Hines, and he goes, catch them, like catch them all.
Are you
And we're
fucking?
like,
Are you serious?
Fuck, you're a grown-ass man, 20 years, you ain't realize this? Yeah, dude. Legit. He was like, catch them all. Like, it was some shit, man.
Dude, I bet everyone pounced on his ass so fast.
It was
yeah.
it was in the meeting where it's just like the four of us talking about cast today, like who's gonna be on and everything. So there
Then I
weren't
asked
many of
him
us to
what
pounce.
Pokemon Brock trains. He was like, Rock? I was like, okay, what Pokemon does Misty train? And then he just like facepalmed and walked out. Oh, God. Okay, so anyway.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I said it was like not that bad. Like a couple years ago, I realized like the guys from NSYNC were NSYNC, and like so yeah, like I had that one. I never put that one together, but yeah, there's a lot of them, man. It's pretty rough.
Oh my god.
All right, guys.
Like Destiny's Child only had one actual child Destiny, and they're like,
let's move
Beyonce,
on.
obviously.
So Ash finally won. Good job,
You did it.
Ash Ketchum.
Yeah.
Maybe now he will finally age or wake up
That
from
was the
that
condition,
coma
yeah.
that people think he's in.
I just
Who
think
knows?
every episode's a day, so he's still 10. There's probably more than 300.
There's like
This is fucking rough.
800 episodes.
Some of
How
them
many
are,
episodes
some-
are there?
Sometimes 10 episodes, one episode, or one day.
Hang on, I gotta look this
Compress
up.
it.
How
Sure.
many episodes of Pokemon are there?
Also, the Pokemon world really, like I know it's because of expansion.
There are over 1,000.
Well, we don't know that it's.
This was, I believe, episode 1,030. So
Good
it's a little
god.
over a year.
I mean, maybe that's how
Fuck
many days
me.
there are in a year there.
Yeah.
We don't know.
That's true.
Yeah, we don't know their fucking
true.
plan.
Right, we
Maybe
have-
the Pokemon world takes 2,000 days to
Right.
go around the
Where
sun.
all police officers look the same. It's
true.
same with nurses.
Oh god.
And they're all from the same family.
Right, I
They're
know.
like
Yeah.
literally all sisters.
Yes.
was
Which
the
that
same,
just
yeah.
seems like a just
That
ridiculous
mom is
monopoly
putting in
on
some
power.
work.
All sisters.
Well,
and they're
definitely.
all either around or at the same age.
It's like a clown car.
It's a
They just
fucking
keep-
factory. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Come
rapid
out.
fire.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Well, no, I'm just thinking, like,
All
think
right.
about that, though. One family controls the entire police force.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's fucked up, dude, if you really think about that.
and to a larger extent, like healthcare and stuff too.
Yeah,
one
it's
family-
pretty fucked up.
Commands the entire medical system of the entire world because it's not just Kanto that has all the Nurse Joys. She's everywhere.
It's crazy.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
How does this world work?
Maybe that's
Oh,
why
man.
Giovanni wants to take over.
Maybe he was the hero all along.
Maybe.
that's a better story.
Yeah.
Maybe
I
that's
wanna-
what
yeah,
this
I
is
wanna
going to
hear
be. It's a
Giovanni's
reboot,
story.
but it starts from the beginning from Giovanni's perspective.
Or Meowth.
Or meow.
Yeah.
The rebellion.
Better story than that one giant guy who was like been around
Oh,
alive
X
for
and
like
Y?
yeah, like a bajillion years.
X and
then-
Y was a fucking trash story, dude. I fucking could not skip enough of that shit.
You remember the first time that dude walked up?
Yeah.
It was like, he was this huge man. Like,
Yeah.
what is happening? Like,
God, I'm sure it might be good from some perspectives, but from like a casual, like I hadn't played a Pokemon game since like Gen 3, I think. And yeah, that guy walked. I was just like, God, what the fuck is this? Get this shit out of my Pokemon. I'm not trying to save the world. I'm just trying to be good at Pokemon training. This is bullshit. It's like if you loaded up Madden and they were like, oh, the world's gone to hell. The only way to save it is to beat these aliens in football. You're like, what the fuck is this, Madden? Just trying to get a
quite
fucking
a
ring.
one-to-one comparison, but yeah.
It pretty much is.
I
ESPN's the
I agree.
fucking
I
villain in the
definitely
mix.
skipped past all that stuff with, what was it, Team Flare trying to blow up the planet with a giant laser or something like
Yeah.
that. I'm like every Pokemon game is that.
Also,
now.
that guy walked in the first scene. They're like, "This is Mr. Flair. He has done some philanthropic stuff in this city." I'm like, "No, that's
Villain.
a fucking bad guy,
Yeah,
you idiot. Like, he's got bad
Villain.
guy hair. Stupid."
Anyway, let's go ahead and talk about the community death battle.
Hold on. Before the next segment, let me tell you about something. Let me tell you about wireless earbuds from Raycon. Look, it's 2019. Half the phones you buy don't have a headphone jack, and you need some wireless earbuds. You could go ahead and spend like hundreds of dollars, or you could just get a pair of E50s from Raycon, which are way less than that and really awesome. I have a pair. They sent me one, and I've been using them all the time from anything from, taking them out, working out, which has happened twice, I'm going to be honest. I don't work out much, but I do use them every single day at my desk now. I didn't expect to get the headphones and then have them replace my headphones as like my daily drivers, but they did. That's just how good they are. And don't just take it from me. Company is co-founded by Ray J, who you might know from the music industry, and people like Snoop Dogg and Cardi B are already obsessed with them. They're very good headphones. You should check them out. And you should save yourself some money and just get some Raycons. They're dope. What else do you need me to say? All right, I lied. Apparently, you do need me to tell you one more thing, and that would be where you can buy these wonderful headphones. And that would be at buyraycon.com/cast to get 15% off your order. Yeah, I didn't even mention that. You get 15% off. You just have to go to buyraycon.com/cast for 15% off Raycon wireless earbuds. If you've been eyeing a pair, now is the time to get an amazing deal. One more time, buyraycon.com/cast.
Which, oh shit, wait, we didn't set a community death battle last week. Whoops. No. What we're actually going to talk about is DBX, because it has ended, or at least for now. But I figured you guys might want to chat about it in the season finale and kind of celebrate the season as a whole.
It was fun. What was your experience like? You did a lot.
I dug the living hell out of that. I
Yeah.
was jumping around and screaming all the time. It was great.
Well, let's talk a little bit about why this change came about and DBX has evolved into something new. Sam?
I mean, okay, like if you want like a realistic, because a lot of people ask stuff about like why the show changed, and a whole bunch of the reasoning behind it is because we will obviously want to make the show better. And to do that, you kind of have to play within a lot of like YouTube metagame bullshit and stuff. And like that is one of the biggest answers, is that the new version of DBX is much more aligned with the meta of YouTube. Being in that meta allows us to spend more money on fights and make more badass stuff. And so revitalizing the show to be more current, I mean, it's the same thing like literally any entertainment company does, is like keep your content current so that it's profitable, so that you can keep making good content. Like that's the ring, and that is the overarching reason of
What's the quote that Disney had? We don't make movies to make money, we make money to make more movies.
And also
that
we'll
kind of
sue
thing.
you.
Yeah.
Well,
That's a really good
Walt
one to
Disney,
do it. Yeah,
Don't
it's
fuck
like
with the mouse.
it's like there's so many, like this is like, making fights and like having these talks and everything is like a passion for pretty much everybody on the team. And in order to continue pursuing that passion, we have to have our projects be profitable so that we can keep making
we also
more.
wanted to expand the Death Battle universe.
Yeah,
Sure.
and-
Say.
And like Death Battle got to step up with, Wisdom Boomstick, and then also, so we wanted to give DBX kind of like a new coat of paint, but then also being able to give people who are not familiar with the characters at all just a little bit of a taste of like what they can do, even if,
Yeah.
Funny enough, one of the original evolutions of it spawned out of the possibility of it being featured on Snapchat. And so
Oh yeah, it was on
yeah.
Snapchat for a while. Some
yeah.
people noticed that some episodes aired on Snapchat before they aired in this new season.
They're
We're like,
specifically-
people are leaking episodes. And we're like, no, actually, we kind of put that up there a
yeah,
while
there was
ago.
like a trial run, and there was specifically like in the Mewtwo Frieza episode, there's a joke about Mewtwo looking like Black China, which was specifically written to like meme with that kind of audience.
Mm-hmm.
And like, so there's like little things in there that's like, that is part of the growth phase as well. And then luckily, like I was not against working with Snapchat, but I don't like Snapchat as a platform. So we got to go to the one I wanted to be on.
Snapchat, you're not watching, right?
Yeah, I know, right? Well, there went any
I mean, it
future
doesn't
Snapchat
matter,
deals.
like-
Thanks, Sam. No.
Have you looked at Snapchat lately? I think there went any future Snapchat deals.
Snapchat, you're not watching, right?
I mean, I'm happy to work with them. It's just, it's really, it's actually like, and that's the thing. It's funny because like Snapchat is a great, like, because they're like, oh, animation is super expensive. Like we're talking a lot of money per second. And then when you go to YouTube, it's like, what do you guys want? Like, 10-minute videos. And then you go to Snapchat, they're like, I don't know, 7 seconds would be cool. You're like, oh, that's so much more reasonable. So it's like Snapchat in a way is also like a dream platform to be on, but it's like, I don't know. I like making things that are like, we get to throw panache into it and have Billy come in, because the Snapchat is like, we don't have time for that would be like, that's a big word. Let's find a smaller one. Like, it's like
fit in that
weird,
7
yeah.
seconds.
So,
Well,
I don't
actually,
know.
speaking of Billy, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about that. So, as mentioned, part of the reason for this was expanding the Death Battle world and bringing in a new character to kind of help build up DBX and maybe even in the future connect with Wiz and Boomstick in some way.
Please.
We'll see.
That would be Billy coming in to voice Ringmaster, or Marshall, as he was called multiple
We'll see.
times.
Yeah. I think that's the same thing as you have like a person with a stage name, and a stage name is Ringmaster. Unlike Prince, most people with stage names don't actually have that name as their real name.
Also, unlike Wiz and Boomstick,
Yes.
just like Prince.
Yeah. That's
Anyway,
right.
can you talk a little bit about why was Ringmaster created? What was your intention with Ringmaster, essentially?
To give short synopsises on each character for the people that don't know them. Like everybody, a lot of the criticism that we've seen is lied and like, oh, he says no research, no, and then you give us 3 minutes of research, and I'm like, no. The intention is just to introduce people who aren't aware of a character to this character before you watch them beat the shit out of another character.
And then
Yeah.
maybe give some context to some random move they might pull out that you're not going to know if you don't know who.
Yeah,
who
essentially,
trombone
yeah.
is.
It's just
trombone.
yeah, exactly.
I'm not going to get into that again.
Yeah,
Yo, goddamn, dude, that blew. That changed my world.
the trombone.
Yes,
thing?
I'm
No,
still mad
it's
about
not.
it, like-
yeah, it
Well,
shouldn't-
I
it should be
felt the
trombone,
exact same in the booth.
trombone.
And Ringmaster was also, like, unlike Wiz and Boomstick, he's not necessarily there to analyze the characters. That's what it is more so than research. There's no, like, analysis and really, like, mathematical deductions about him. He's there to, like, create this fun atmosphere and joke about
Yeah, he wants
it.
to hype up. He
Humorous.
wants to hype up
I
the people
mean-
who are there to fight for
Yeah.
everybody to watch.
Yeah.
It's the same thing as like in boxing, you have the like ring announcer person. It's like you don't need him. You could just have two guys step in there and beat the shit out of each other. But that doesn't provide as much of a show and experience. So you get a ring announcer, which is where the character essentially.
Why it's
was
called
from.
Ringmaster, why
Yep.
he's got essentially a boxing ring, sort of like, it's like a mix between a ring and a podium that he's standing
Yeah.
on.
Thank
He's
you,
got
Hunter.
the
The
hanging microphone. That's kind of the inspiration behind that whole look, is that boxing ring announcer sort of deal, just to hype up the fight, hype up the characters, and get everybody excited for it. But why Billy?
Yeah, why
Really?
Billy?
Yeah, I still keep asking that. But no, I'm just,
we had a lot of, because we did a casting call and we had a lot of people submit applications for it and stuff, and we came across Billy's, and it was just essentially like Billy has a really cartoony voice, and like we were like, that works. Like, I mean, essentially the thing we sent out was like the famous guy, I can't remember his name, the famous ring announcer, the Let's Get Ready to Rumble guy. It was like, Let's Get Ready to Rumble guy
yeah.
meets Ruby Rod from Fifth Element, and like that was the casting call essentially. And Billy's
Just like
audition
one
came
line.
in, and
That's
we were
it.
like, "Yeah, that sounds about right on there."
Yep.
So yeah, and it works really well. Like, I mean, obviously the character, because it was weird in this case. Like, we had Wiz and Boomstick for years before we had to do character design. With this, it's like we did character design before we had a voice.
Yep.
So it was kind of like the reverse way. It was like once we had the character there, and then we heard Billy's voice, it was like, yeah, those two belong together. That adds up pretty damn well. So yeah, that means he submitted an application and a casting call, and we were like, that's a good voice.
Well, what's going through your head whenever
it-
you're voicing him?
It doesn't hurt that that's the way you guys seem to like me doing reads is kind of how I think, like doing weird asides or like weird flourishes here and there and stuff like that. That's how it comes to me in mind and whatnot. So
Are you super animated in the booth?
yes, I think I am.
Yeah. Quite a bit.
I am
sweat a
too.
lot.
Yeah, I can't not.
Oh yeah, I think it helps a lot.
It does.
Yep.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine doing that, like, excited, hyper voice, like,
Just like perfectly still.
We got bombs. We got things. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be very difficult.
Look at all this stuff. It's right here. And it's like perfect.
Yeah.
just like as a stick, just
And then
standing there.
just turn and walk out the booth.
Well, actually, I think we got some art to show about of Ringmaster. Let's go ahead and bring that up. Billy, I think you
This
might
was-
recognize
yeah,
this.
this is from you, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
I just wanted to
Oh, you
show it
drew
off
that?
because it's so
That's awesome.
fucking awesome.
That's super cool.
I got some new brushes and I wanted to test it out and I was like, hey, I'm gonna go be super vain for a minute here.
Is that your desktop background?
Yeah.
It's really cool. I didn't notice the last time I looked at it. that like all the detail you put into the jacket as well. That's really cool. Yeah.
The reflection in the glasses is super awesome.
Yeah, that was the
with
main
the
thing I wanted
stage
to do, was
lights.
get all that environment in his face.
I think it looks really cool.
Yeah,
appreciate
it's
that.
really
You did such a
cool.
good job. Normally we show off fan art from you guys on the show, and we obviously still want to show that off. But I really wanted to highlight
It's
Billy's
nice to know
artistic
you're a
skills
fan
here.
of
Hey,
your own
if we get some
character.
more
job.
fan art of Ringmaster out of that, I would super love to see that.
I've seen some. I've seen quite a bit actually.
Yeah.
You guys have been posting it on Twitter, and of course you can use the hashtag DeathBattleCast to send it to us to make sure that we see it. It's been awesome seeing art from all sorts of people come in, different, especially since one of the cool things about Ringmaster, and I think this was decided very early on in the character creation process, was that he's always wearing something different. He's wearing a different color coordinated suit depending
Yeah.
on the matchup that he's announcing, and I love that. It's so fun and ridiculous.
Yep.
Yeah. We're thinking about that on season 2. That
Yep.
the color palette thing is a little bit of a pain in the ass.
I called
We might
that
have one
from
color
this-
next season.
That idea was thrown out, and the first words out of my mouth were, "That'd be cool," but that sounds like a pain in the ass.
I think.
How do we keep it? How do we keep
Well, I think what we do is smaller change. We don't change his entire outfit.
So like his
it?
tie,
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
a fun new
the suit.
tie every week.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I'm sure whenever season 2 does happen, it'll have a bunch of new ideas thrown into it to improve the series.
Oh yeah, look how far Wiz and Boomstick have come. It's been a lot.
Well, and DBX obviously runs quite a bit differently than Death Battle. Season of 10 episodes on a weekly basis. That's unheard of for our channel since like Clip of the Week, which was crazy to make on a weekly basis way back when. But DBX, how has that been going?
I mean, this season was interesting because it was like we decided to do it probably 3 months out from the first episode, so like getting 10 episodes like ready to go, and like it was definitely a rush, like in the sense of like I was nose down just working on DBX for a long time. If we do a season 2, which looks quite likely, please
Though
come back,
animation wasn't in 3 months, there were a lot of animated fights that were done
We
like
had-
last year.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
had some animations that were done last year and added some new ones as well.
But all the
And-
framework stuff still had to be made from that
Yeah,
point on.
yeah, which
I
took
know,
some time.
I knew it was getting fast-tracked when you guys were like, all right, here's the casting call, here's the date, a month from now, and then they're like, no, maybe this week.
Yeah. We got it done really quick. Once we found Billy, it was just like, okay, let's not waste any time. Like we should just do this right now. And yeah, it was a fun experience. But I am certainly far more excited about season 2 because now that we have like that was just like get the foundation down, like get stuff in here, and now it's time to like actually build and decorate the house and make it even cooler. So I'm excited for what we hopefully get in season 2. Looks likely.
Well, there's a very good chance that season 2 will be
Yeah.
happening next year, alongside Death Battle season 7.
Season 2, technically 5. We're just gonna call it season
Right.
2.
Season 2, season 2,
I
5.
keep calling it
Yeah.
season 2 because it's basically a new DBX. It's an
Yeah.
entirely
Yeah.
different kind of show. Same basic premise of 2 characters fight.
Yeah.
One of them dies. But there's so much more going on in new DBX than old DBX.
Yeah,
It's basically
so-
a new show.
You just make it confusing. Like Marvel movies, just make a new subtitle for each one. So it's
There you go.
Revengeance.
DBX, The Return.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what this season is. The next
Or-
season is DBX Revengeance.
Yep.
Yeah, DBX
Re-Revengeance.
And then no one will know how to find
Kai
it.
or any of
It's
those.
always re
Like,
something.
yeah.
That's perfect. All right. Last thing to talk about then. Were there any surprises or interesting things that came up while working on it that might be fun to talk about?
Surprises?
Yeah.
Sounds like I wrote it.
Really?
Unexpected things.
Unexpected things?
Anything you learned that you want to share with everybody?
I once again learned that you should give things time before you read the comments.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, man, I don't know. Not off the top of my head. Like, it was pretty much, I was surprisingly went as planned,
There you go.
which that was the surprise, really, is that there weren't more like, oh no, it's on fire. Like, it was just like, there was so many times where I was like, something must be going wrong. Like, no, weird.
Gohan Superboy's about to cross 1 million.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I saw that.
Nice.
If you haven't seen an episode of DBX, the new DBX, there are 10 episodes out right now. You should go watch them.
They're all a lot
Pretty
of
awesome.
fun. I don't know if I have a favorite.
And if you want to see alternate endings, you can become a first member
Yes.
on roosterteeth.com.
Yes.
Yeah, the alternate endings are fun. I think Mewtwo Frieza might be my favorite. Yeah.
Alternate ending, especially. I think I like the way that one twisted.
The alternate ending's pretty fun. Yeah, I like that one a lot. Yeah, that's a good one.
Well,
It gets very Pokemon.
congrats, guys. Awesome
Yeah.
job on an awesome season.
Yay!
I think you guys did a fantastic job putting it all together. And I am excited for season 2, 5,
Fingers crossed.
2 point whatever.
Hoping very much to work with you guys further because this has been super fun.
All right, so moving forward, we will be continuing or re-continuing the community death battle as we have before DBX came in and shook it all up.
That's the DBX tagline. DBX, the recontinuing.
That's basically what's going on, right? So for next week, we will be doing a community death battle of. This is interesting. I'm curious what you guys think of this one. Obi-Wan Kenobi
Okay.
versus Kakashi from Naruto. The Ninja Master versus the Jedi Master.
Okay.
I feel like the Ninja Masters are so much faster.
Well, I mean, Jedi and the Force is kind of crazy. So let us know who you think should win and why using hashtag DeathBattleCast on Twitter. We will have a poll on this the Death Battle Twitter.
Who has the high ground?
Please feel free to leave as many Obi-Wan memes as you'd like in your Obi-Wan arguments.
I mean, he can't die. He just becomes a ghost.
Yeah.
He just becomes one with the Force. He just turns into an empty robe.
We will discuss this next episode on Death Battle Cast live on Tuesday at noon CST. And you can let us know who you think should win and why using hashtag Death Battle Cast. The poll will be on @DeathBattle on Twitter. We will see you guys next week. Thank you so much for joining us.